Guys, in today's video I'm doing a shop my stash for the Zoya fall collection. Does anybody still really care about this? I'm so late, but somebody had asked me in a previous video if I would still do the Zoya fall shop my stash, so I thought I would do it. I did the swatches and everything, so why not sit down and just share them with you guys. If you are not familiar with my shop my stash series, the whole purpose of this is for me to save money instead of shopping the store and from new collections. This year I decided to shop my stash and pull polishes that are very similar to their lineup. So not everything is going to be exactly the same because I am only working with the collection that I currently have. A lot of my decisions are based off of Google Images and whatever I can find online. Basically, Instagram is a great tool that I've been using as of late. There's a mixture of some reds, it looks like some burgundies, purple, some blues, brown, and like a black and silver polish. Definitely getting the fall feels from this collection. I'm going to start off with Etta, and on Zoya's website it says Etta can be best described as a vampy cabernet with a tint of violet micro pearl. Based on swatches on Google Images, this does look kind of purpley, kind of burgundy, a color that I'm pretty sure a lot of us have different options to substitute this color. I don't really find this color to be very unique. I have three options here. I have A England. This is called And Bolyin. And Bolyin has that cabernet base. This one has an amazing formula, and it takes 2 coats for full opacity. The next one that I have is from Pop Beauty. This one is called Cranberry. This one also looks like a cabernet color, but it's not quite as dark, it's not quite as vampy. This is the one that I have not put on my nails. And the last one that I have is Gem from Zoya. So Gem from Zoya has a little bit more going on in it. It has little copper and gold fine little shimmers running through it as well. It does look a little duo on the nails, but not really intense. So a lot of what you see on the nails is the base color, which is a dark kind of burgundy vampy shade. The next polish that I have is Foster, and Foster is described as a decadent hot chocolate cream with pink undertones. I have Sinful Colors Hot Toffee. I have this one, and then I have the one that I have on my nails right now, but this is a really perfect description, only that I feel like Sinful Colors Hot Toffee is just a hair lighter than theirs. Theirs seems to have a little bit more of that reddy tone in it. This one looks like a chocolate brown, but with a hint of blush in it. It's a little bit of pink, so not as much red, I would say, going on in this one. This one, 2 coats for full opacity. I've talked about this polish to death, I feel like, in the past couple of months or so. Great formula, 2 coats for full opacity. And the one that I have on my nails right now, I think looks the closest to some of the swatches that I saw on Google Images because it's a little bit deeper, and if anything I would say this is probably even more deep than theirs, and it leans even like more on the yellow side more than the reddy tone side. This one was a gift to me from Joy, and this one is from a Polish pickup, and it's called Carbs Are My Villain, and the brand is called My Indie Polish. Ashton is described as a black tourmaline with a scattered silver effect. I don't have very many black jelly bases with silver particles. I have another one from, let's say, OPI, but the particles are gold. So the only one that I have with the black jelly base and then the silver little shimmers going on, I know they called it effect, but they're little shimmers. The option that I have available is from NARS. This one is called Nightbreed. It also has a black jelly base, and it has the silver little particles. But if anything, I feel like the silver little particles are just a tad bit larger than the ones from theirs. And this is more of a black jelly base, to where theirs in some pictures it looks a little bit blue. I think it's black, but it looks it leans a little bit cooler, I would say, than this one does. Joss is described as a soft colonial rose cream. For Joss, I had a Barefoot in Barcelona from OPI. So this is a neutral and more of a nudie polish, but it does have quite a bit of pink running through it. Great formulation for this one, opaque at 2 coats, and this one has a cream finish, same like Joss. But I also have Camel-ot. This is from Sally Hansen, the Extreme Wear. Still with a little bit of pink, but I also want to say it has a little bit more peach in it running through it. It does also look extremely soft on the nails, this one, but it is a little bit more on the sheer side, and it's one that I feel requires 3 coats for full opacity. Kinsley is described as a blush toned caramel cream. The one that I had available from Zoya actually is Spencer. Spencer though I feel looks a little bit lighter than some of the pictures that I'm seeing online. I feel like theirs leans definitely a lot warmer to where this one's a little bit more on the neutrally side. Let's get into a couple of the reds here. I have Margaret, and Margaret can be best described as a well-balanced auburn red cream. The one that I pulled out is from OPI. I have Big Apple Red. I feel like this one looks a little bit more vibrant than Margaret does. In some of the pictures it looks more auburn, and in some of the pictures it looks a little bit brighter. Like there's some pictures that it looks a little bit more orange based, I want to say, and some of them it looks a little bit muted. But based on Zoya's website, I would say Big Apple Red is a really great option. Briar is a red toned terracotta cream. The only one that I have available within that realm is ESSIE's In Stitches, which I think comes extremely close to theirs, only that theirs has a ton of red in it for sure. ESSIE's In Stitches for me usually takes 2 coats for full opacity. It has a really great formula. I think this is a close enough option to where I don't feel like I need to go out and purchase Briar. Then we have Rashida, and Rashida is described a dazzling ruby red with a shimmer of red micro pearl. I pulled out I'm Not Really a Waitress, was just another one that I had mentioned in a previous Shop My Stash, because it's really the only like a shimmery red that looks kind of foily looking, kind of like wrapping paper on the nails, which is the vibe that I'm getting from Google Images and a lot of the pictures that I'm seeing here. So I'm Not Really a Waitress, I've mentioned before, is one of my favorite reds from OPI, or just in general, and this one for me usually takes 2 coats to get it completely opaque. Ripley is described as a rich boysenberry cream, and this is in the purple family. That's really beautiful. The only one that I had available that's somewhat close is with the Beet from Sally Hansen. This is part of the Extreme Wear line. I don't know if this is part of their core line, but I want to say that I have seen this in their lineup recently at the drugstore, like at Target, or even I want to say Walmart or CVS or one of those places. This one has a great formula, 2 to 3 coats for full opacity, and I think this is the one that within my entire collection is the one that comes somewhat close to it. I had pulled out Kerry Blossom, but I feel like with the Beet has a little bit more red in it, to where Kerry Blossom looks a little bit deeper, a little bit more purple. So this one has a little bit more red, which I feel makes it come a little bit closer to Ripley. Let's do Michaela, shall we? Michaela, where are you? I mentioned in a previous Shop My Stash, I don't have a lot of dusty purples, so the only one that I was able to pull out, another one that I mentioned in a previous Shop My Stash video, is Plum Sugar from ORLY. Although this one I feel is deeper. It's a little bit darker on the nails. Michaela on Zoya's website is described as a dusty purple taupe cream. I had mentioned this polish in a previous video because I mentioned I don't have a lot of dusty purples. The only 2 is Amethyst from Sinful Colors, and then I have Plum Sugar from ORLY. ORLY's Plum Sugar is a little bit lighter than Amethyst from Sinful Colors, so this is my pick to substitute their polish of Michaela. Although I feel like this one's still a little bit deeper than their polish, but I think it's a great alternative, and this one for me takes 2 coats. Vesper is the one that I left last because quite frankly I don't have anything within my collection that looks similar to this polish. So very similar to the dusty blue polish in the OPI collection, it was very hard for me to find something within my collection that came remotely close, because this particular polish, Vesper for instance, has a hint of blue and purple in it also, so it makes it kind of unique. So for me, I think these 2 are the alternatives. So I have Sally Hansen Beatnik, which is a dusty blue, definitely way different from Vesper, because Vesper has a good balance between blue and purple in it. I think it's really beautiful, and I think it's really unique. But I also thought I would mention Plum Sugar from ORLY, and it's like their polish is almost like a mixture of these 2 polishes together, I would say. Great formula for Beatnik, 2 coats to get opaque. that is everything for this video, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I'm really sorry that this video is super late, but I hope that you still found it helpful if in case you guys are still eyeing some of the polishes from the fall collection from Zoya. Somebody asked me if I was gonna do this series for winter. I think it would be a lot, to be honest with you, and I'm gonna be gone for a couple of weeks at the end of the year, and I didn't really plan to do the winter one. So what I think I'm going to do, and you guys let me know if you are interested so that I can get to swatching, I thought I would select my favorites from each holiday or winter collection and dupe those instead of doing the entire ORLY, the entire OPI, Zoya, ESSIE, China Glaze, you know, and so on and so forth, because I think that would alleviate a little bit of the work for me personally, just because I didn't plan for it. So if you guys are interested, let me know. Thank you guys again for watching. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying this series, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.